have a gun, Frankie. If they get up, if they hear the shooting, if anything happens, if they get up, our friends, made guys, look at them and tell them, sit the fuck down. If you got to open your jacket and show them the gun, they'll sit down. You're not a joke. They'll look at you and they'll sit. They're not in it. That's your job, Frankie. What's mine? You're my driver, John. Sit in the car and drive. I'll have a walkie-talkie and I'll control the group. Tell them exactly what to do. We'll be parked off the corner. It wasn't a spot. It was like hanging off the corner. It wasn't a legitimate spot. And I would have a .357 Magnum. I'd be a backup shooter to it. Somebody came up, wasn't my idea, with these Russian hats and the long white jackets or whatever they were, Russian jackets. I thought it was a great idea. Good. All 4 shooters have the same jackets. The backup shooters and everybody else, no. You got to fall in. The last meeting before we went, we finally agreed on that. The last meeting before we went, it was in my basement in Stewart Avenue where my office was. The whole team was together. It's the first time we told the whole team, Vinny and all the rest of them, exactly who was going to go. That it was going to be Paul Castellano, Tommy Bilotti. And it was going to be done in the middle of Manhattan. It was going to be a suicide mission. This is a do or die mission. They've got to go. They can't survive. We're talking about hitting the boss of bosses and Tommy Bilotti, who was a captain and going to be promoted to underboss as soon as Neil dies. They have to go. Nobody move until they're all dead. If you move and run, keep running, because as soon as we catch up with you, you'll die. If there's cops, we shoot it out. If we die, we're going to make history. But we're all going to die together. Frankie looks at John. I mean, at the crew of guys. Shakes his head. One guy, I forgot exactly who it was, said, Sammy, can I say something? Of course. What? He said, brother, I'll meet you in fucking hell if this don't work. Great fucking answer. Every fucking one of you. I want you to feel the same way. Kiss your fucking wives and kids and everybody goodbye that morning before you come to this thing. Because you may not be going home. If you don't come out in the morning, then get the fuck away from us. Just don't come near us no more. Don't come to this thing. But if you come here, I want you to feel that this may be the last fucking life, the day you live. Then you could be here. We can all be here together. That's how we did it. Neil died. Paul was asked, how come you didn't go to Neil's wake? He said, I got a case going on. I had the news media, the cops. Nobody answered him. But the answer behind his back with us, the only thing that kept you fucking alive was Neil refusing. Well, you would have died 6 fucking months ago. And you didn't even go, he's your underboss. Of course you didn't know, but he's the man who kept you fucking alive. And you didn't even go to his funeral. It infuriated us even more. So all of these fucking things were a motivation and exactly what happened in the Castellano hit. They'll make movies about it. They'll talk about it. Everybody talks about it. Here, you hear it.
I hear it all the
time. Guys tell you, they'll ridicule you. You were close with him. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Listen, the truth is the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
I liked John, I did all kinds of things. I fucking killed people for him. I rigged juries. I did all kinds of things. But the truth is the truth.
Of course. After that hit, and after it happened, now my father's in the joint. He's dying to know what's going on, because after he's clipped off, and he's calling us, when are you coming to visit me? When are you coming to visit me? So Tony Lee knew the whole thing, the scheme would happen. So then we go visit him, and Tony Lee tells him the whole thing, and he loved it. He said, wow. He goes, it was a genius plan. He says, suicide mission in the middle of Manhattan. He goes, hide in plain sight. It was great. He loved the whole thing. And he just said, is this the same John that we're talking about, that I know from, when he was a teenager? And Tony goes, yeah, he's the boy. Told him who the boss was, Frankie was the underboss. And we gave him the whole rundown. And then, now John, his whole personality changed after that.
I know.
His whole personality changed after that. I mean, and now he's the boss. I had some issues, but he looked out for me. He did the right thing by me. He always helped me, even before he was the boss. He always looked out for me, but he was doing things that he shouldn't have done. And my father and Tony were old timers. They didn't like it. I mean, they didn't like it. Like, and people are saying now, that because I'm here, oh, he always looked out for you. Now you're making a deal with the devil and all this bullshit. But listen, right is right and wrong was wrong. Like, he did things he shouldn't have done.
No.
He did things, like with Ernest, the kid Ernest. I mean, he helped me, he looked out for me, but let's be honest, there's things that shouldn't happen. So when he was going out with Ernest, his wife, we went to visit my father. Nicky Carrazza now, he's in it. And we'll visit him, though my father's in the joint with Lenny DiMaria. And so we go visit him, Nicky Carrazza, Tony Lee, and myself, and I think Brother. Remember Brother that was with Nicky, this guy straightened out? We go visit them, and he knows, now my father knows what's going on with Ernest, his wife, and he tells Nicky, he goes, why don't they take this guy down, if that's what he's doing?
Take who down?
John. Take John down.
Guys are talking
about John going out with Ernest, his wife, which is that a rule?
Oh my God! I know this story like the back of my hand because listen, I'll tell you what happened. I didn't even remember this guy's name, Ernest, and I didn't know him.
I know him,
but I knew that Neil was divorced with his wife, and he meets this Irish broad from Staten Island, and he didn't give a fuck about papers and documents and legal shit. He turns around and he says, "She's my wife. I'm going to live with her, and she's my wife." Fuck papers. He's not going to go to church or go to court and get a marriage certificate. He don't give a shit about that. But we respect that's his wife.
Yeah. He was living with him in Staten Island.
Yes. And his daughter, her daughter, is his stepdaughter now.
Exactly.
She's married to this guy, Ernest.
And I went to their wedding.
Okay. John, and Neil is now in her house. He's dying of cancer. John Gotti goes over the house to visit Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's changing whatever they're doing, or his medication or whatever, he goes downstairs and he's fucking Neil's daughter-in-law. And stepdaughter. I mean, that's a death sentence.
You can't do that.
Oh, that's the worst fucking thing
and
do.
Those and that's what the old timers didn't like about him. When I found out about it, I mean, I felt bad for Ernest. I mean, I had no say in the matter, but my father and them, they weren't happy about it. And then it's funny because when I knew Andy Warhol, I mean, I tell you the story, and I used to hang out in this club called the Ritz back in the early 80s, and he would go up there, Andy Warhol, and he would drink with us and hang out with us. And then years later, he draws that painting of John and puts it on Time Magazine, Andy Warhol. That's another thing. Right. How could this guy go on Time Magazine? And all that stuff, I wasn't even straightened out. And because of all that stuff, it hurt me. I kept on getting pinched after pinch it because I was associated with that crew through my father. And, and every time I got arrested, I got the most time on the case, and went to the worst prisons. I got arrested on a case. My two co-defendants went to a prison camp, and I went to this Comstock, they called the Gladiator School. We were there for the same crime. So I suffered the consequences too, and I was really a nobody at that time. And I suffered
his
the
actions.
consequences. Yeah, because I was associated with them, even after he died.
Let me just get back to Ernie for 1 second, because let me just finish that
go ahead.
off, is that then I found out that this kid had a case, Ernie.
Yeah.
And that he gets in touch with the lawyer. He don't want anybody to take a plea. He convinces the lawyer to give Ernie a plea to go to prison, to get him away from, so he could fuck this girl, his wife, in peace.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not good. And what about the people? I used to get embarrassed. I worked they had a crap game and they had a crap game on, first it started out on 101st Avenue, and then they moved it to Mott Street. And Willie Boy, who we didn't know at the time was a confidential informant, he used to come up there and shoot crap, and he used to get so abused and call him names. And it was embarrassing how he used to abuse him. Joe the Cat, he started abusing Joe the Cat, who was, to me, just a harmless old guy, Joe the Cat.
he came to my house.
Yeah, I know he came to your house. I know that when I saw that video of you talking about Joe, about the story, he came to your house.
Begging for help.
Yeah, I mean, he had him standing at attention. And I remember he on 101st Avenue one day, we were there, and he had that office next to the Bergen and Fish Club. John had an office there where he had the barber chair in the back, because the guy used to come every day and do his hair. Right. And he told his son, Junior, not to let anybody in the office, and Junior let Joe the Cat in. Oh my God, he blasted his son that day. He was screaming at his son because he came out of the back from getting his haircut, and Joe the Cat was sitting there. He threw Joe the Cat out of the office. He made a whole big scene. Jeannie went to Tony Lee and told Tony Lee, I don't know what to do with my brother. He's abusing this guy. It was a whole big thing. Abusing him?
I know. He came to my house, and he was literally in tears, and my wife was there. And we went on vacation, so one year when we went on vacation, he was down there on vacation. He got in touch with me, and we wound up hooking up with wives, and we went out. And so I knew his wife now and his family, and my daughter knows his family. So my wife was there, and he started actually crying. He said, Sammy, he's destroying me, shaking me down. He's doing this, he's doing that. So I said, oh, stop crying.
Yeah.
Man, I told my wife, get out of the room. Go, because she's coming over. You want a coffee? No, he don't want none. Get out of the room. I said, come on. I'll talk to him. But man up, bro. Stop crying. You're a man. You're a man's man. I mean, he's probably mad. Relax. I'll talk to him. That's the best I can do.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him. But don't go around complaining, because if he knows you come in here to talk to me, to complain about what he's doing, he's liable to hurt you. He'll take you doing this behind his back.
Yeah, for sure.
So don't do that. You weren't here. I'll talk to him. Man up. And he left. I liked him. He was a good guy. And when I say man up, he was a tough guy. Do you remember somebody tried to kill John? They shot at him.
Yeah, sure.
And what's his name? Bobby Boriello.
Caught him in the hallway.
They brought him to
to Joe Cat,
They brought him to the Staten Island. They put him in Joe Katz's little candy store in the basement.
Yeah.
Joe Watts went there. They questioned him. They want to know who sent you to shoot.
Nobody sent him.
Nobody. He was a religious nut.
Yeah.
God sent him. He was just out of his fucking mind. And then John gave the okay, and Joe Watts killed him.
Yeah.
And in the basement. But they left him in the basement. They closed the door for somehow. Somebody tried to burglarize it. The door was cracked open. So early in the morning, a police car's passing. They see the door half open. They know the place is closed. So they get out of the car. They go inside. They look. They go downstairs, and there's a body in the basement. So now I get a call from Joe Katz's son. Buddy the Katz sons. And I go out of the house. What do we do? I don't know. Just stand back. If the store was broken into, then you don't know what the fuck happened.
The burglar did it.
The burglar, or whatever that happened, maybe he's a burglar. Who the fuck knows? And we were, talking with Joe Watts. I'm talking with the kids. I'm trying to calm everything down. And Buddy stood up. He was a man. I mean, he stood up.
Strained Buddy out.
Huh?
Buddy's got strained out.
Yeah, it was his son, Joe the Cat's son.
Yeah.
He hated his own son. He went to permission to Paul to kill his
Over
son.
money. I know the whole story. I worked for them.
When he went to jail,
both of them.
he left $200,000
And the kid took it.
The kid took it and spent the whole fucking thing. When he came out, he was so fucking furious that the 200 wasn't there anymore.
He wanted to kill his own. He went to Paul.
He went to Paul and asked permission.
I know the whole story.
Paul told me the story. He said, Sammy, he came to me and asked for permission.
Yeah, I know the whole story.
He says, I wouldn't give him permission. You already made him. The kid is a scumbag, and you made him.
Yeah.
So now you're stuck with him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you permission.
Buddy the Cat. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
but the guy getting back to the guy said, that happened on 101st Avenue. And they chased the guy down 101st Avenue. And they caught him.
He had a rifle or something. He was near the train station. He was far away.
Yeah.
And he threw a shot. He tried to kill Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was a religious nut.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, he did. But I used to love to go out with him. I mean, after he became the boss and he became, everybody thought he was a celebrity. I used to love to go out with him. I would go to Club A with him. I would go to Pastels with him. For some reason, he just liked me. I don't know, maybe because I did time when I was a kid. I don't know. We were both Scorpios. And, all the girls wanted to be with him, and I would get them to come and sit with us. And, I mean, I had a lot of fun with him, but.
Listen, I had a great time with him, too. I had a lot of fun with him. Yeah. He had a great sense of humor. You're right. Fucking broads would come flying over.
Celebrities, everybody.
Newspaper broads came over, and they wanted to talk to me and John on the side, off the record. They wanted statements. You know how the news media is.
Yeah.
Two good-looking fucking broads. So John says, fuck around with them, Sammy. He's always sending me. I said, I'm going to fuck around. They're news reporters. You're going to get me in the newspaper like I'm a fucking degenerate fucking with them. Right? Yeah. He says, no, go fuck around with them. So I go back. I says, you want to talk to John? Well, both of you. You want to talk to me too? Yeah. How about you meet me and John in a motel? I figured they're going to say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, okay.
They give me the number. Here, call me up. We'll meet you there. So I said, what kind of interview this is going to be, bro? It's a motel.
Yeah.
I said, they were giggling, laughing. Yeah, don't worry about it. So I went back. I said, here's their numbers. They wanted me to see the fucking hotel. He says, you want to meet them? And fuck no.
No.
Because they're going to want to talk. I don't want to talk. I want to fuck. I don't want to be with them. You know what I mean? The news people. Before you know it, they'll twist everything. You know what I mean? God knows what they'll say. I don't want to be with them.
Yeah. And when we had the issue with my brother-in-law, I mean, he gave us permission right away. He loved my mother, and when this kid had put his hands on my mother, and Tony Lee sent word to him that we wanted to clip him, I mean, he okayed it immediately. You were the underboss, then you know the host. My brother-in-law, with my sister's husband, when we made him disappear. Frankie, my sister's husband, when John gave us permission, he choked my mother, he beat my mother up, and my father okayed it. And then we sent word to John, and John
I didn't know about it, but he would give permission.
Yeah, he'd give permission.
Listen, that's Cosa Nostra.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying with the other thing, you just go to the fucking boss. You can't do whatever you want to do. Signing autographs. I mean, listen, every fucking boss was hating on him.
Yeah.
Chin Gigante
they killed poor Frankie DeChico. They blew him up.
Yeah.
I mean, they killed Eddie Leno.
Yep.
They killed Bobby Boriello. I mean, guys that were in on that, which just died. The good guys. Yeah. I mean,
There's a couple of times
Eddie Leno, I loved Eddie Leno.
I was scheduled to get hit, and I just missed the interview.
I'm surprised they didn't come get after you.
There was a woman. This is crazy. This story. A woman was close to him, a daughter, somebody, and they were talking about whacking me. And Chin said, no, I like this kid. I like this guy. Mm-hmm. I think we could talk with him.
Yeah.
Take him off the list. They took me off the list. Later on, they put me back on the list. Mm-hmm. But because Chin turned around and said, I think I made a mistake. As soon as he finds out, he loved this Frankie DeChico. He's a tough guy. As soon as he finds out who the fuck it was who killed Frankie, he's going to look for revenge. I love to save him, but I can't. Let's kill him. And he changed his mind with that. But it was too late. I missed it. You know how I missed it? They made an appointment with me in a restaurant I'm trying to think of the name as I'm talking, in Coney Island. And I'm supposed to go. There's a team there waiting for me. Me and Big Louie were going to go. Because we had an appointment, construction business.
Yeah.
We had to give them family money, meet with them and whatever. So we were going to go. They got a team, 5, 6 guys there. Everybody's loaded up. When I come into the restaurant, I walk in and towards the back, I get hit. So they're all ready. Now, when I'm ready to go, we go out. I mean, there's an excessive amount of fucking feds cars. I know they're regulars, but there's a extra ones, 3, 4 more of them, right? So Louis says, oh my God. I says, look how many fucking cars. I think we have a problem. I said, I think you're right. I might be getting pinched today because why would there be 4, 5, 6 cars? You know what I mean? It's not normal.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to get pinched. So I clean out and I get the money that we was going to give them and I give it to Johnny, I think Gamarano. I give him the package of money and I say, listen, go to the restaurant in Coney Island and give them this money. Talk about, and I told him something to talk about a union thing, and tell him I'm sorry I can't make it. Say he's taking all kinds of heat. He don't want to come in and bring all that heat with him because they're going to follow him. He don't want to bring that heat, so he apologizes. That's how I missed the hit.
You're lucky.
And now they listen to this. I met a guy in jail who was part of the hit and tells me the whole story too. And he says, he said, we sent somebody and they thought you were getting heavy. You found out about the hit. They thought all those cars were your guys.
They were the feds.
They were the feds.
Yeah.
So I backed out of that fucking hit by accident. Yeah. So I think I have a fucking, so a saint following me around. I don't know.
But you were there when Frankie got blown up.
I was right there.
I know. John was there too, right?
No.
No, he wasn't. I thought John was there too. No, just shoot.
No, just
I thought
me.
John was there.
And,
I liked
well,
Frankie.
there was 30 guys there.
Yeah, he was always good. He used to always stake me when at the crap
I picked
games.
him up and pulled him away from the car.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh my God.
He used to stake me all the time when I used to work in the crap games. He would come in the crap games and he would always stake me. He was always good.
Frankie was the best.
He was a tough guy. My father liked him.
Yeah.
Liked his family.
He was for the underdog all the time. That's what I really liked about him.
I remember, yeah. Eddie Leno was good to me too. I liked Eddie Leno.
Was a good guy
He was
too.
a sweetheart. I worked for Eddie Leno too when they wanted to get out of the junk business. They were banking numbers out of Newburgh, New York, and they had an office in Harlem. And they knew I worked for Joe the Cat, and I knew the number business. So he asked my father if they could put me to work in the office. And my father said, yeah, if he wants to work. So they put me to work. Him and Charlie Wingy was his partner, another junk dealer.
Yeah.
And they put me to work. And they used to come and they got hammered. For some reason, they had no luck. They got hammered. So we were in there one day and it was me, Charlie Wingy, and Eddie Leno, and this other guy, I forgot who it was. And we're going over to work, and because they couldn't understand how come they kept on getting hammered. And they're going over to work, and Eddie Leno told Charlie, he goes, man, we should just start selling junk again. And Charlie says, don't talk like that in front of this kid. If Andy ever finds out, he'll kill us. My old man, because he was the stickler for the rules. But he always treated me good. He used to take me to the Yankee games. And as soon as he got in my car, Eddie Leno, we would be in the Raven. I'd go, come on, you want to go to the Yankee game tonight? And we go to the Yankee game.
Look how they killed him.
I know.
Look what they used. Cops.
I know. The guy that played my father in the Goodfellas, he was the actor, the cop, the fat guy with the beard, with the mustache. One of the mob cops. He was the actor in Goodfellas.
Louis
Epilitio. He played my father in Goodfellas.
Don't you know his cousin? Yeah. His cousin was a captain in our family.
Yeah.
So he was a captain, but he was a cop, and he started doing hits for the mafia through gas pipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how they wound up killing Eddie Leno.
Yeah, they killed
using
him.
cops.
And they brought Heidel to get. You told the story. I never knew that Joe Butch and they went to Gas Pipe's house. I was shocked.
Jimmy Brown, Joe
when you
Butch,
told that
Danny
story.
Marino.
Because I know Heidel was tortured and all that. I knew that because I was in the street when all that was going on. But when you told that story and they left him there, like Brown. They should have never left that kid there.
Oh yeah, but they must have been shitting in their pants.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Listen, I didn't know about the meeting. I was out of town. John wasn't around.
Yeah.
And they went to the meeting. When I came back in, they told me the story. I said, how could you leave the kid there?
Yeah.
They got him in a chair. He says Jimmy Brown, what can I do? The kid is with us.
Yeah, they should have took him
You
out.
say, listen, the kid told you the truth, what happened? You're done with this kid then.
Yeah, we'll take care of him.
Then I'll take care of him. I'll take care of him and whatever. Give me the kid.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell me? No, I'm going to kill him? No, fuck you. You're not going to kill him. He's with us.
Yeah, exactly.
If we got to kill him, we'll kill him, but not you.
Yeah.
Give me this fucking kid out of here.
Yeah.
How did you leave him? You didn't. But so I stopped talking because I'm talking to you. You're a fucking man's man. I know that. Talking with Jimmy, I knew I was talking with a piece of shit. He didn't have the. I'm saying to myself, you fucking moron. He was probably shitting in his pants, gas piping them in there. Yeah. Got a kid strapped up,
tied up.
Got other guys there with guns. You must have been shitting your pants. You couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. That's why you didn't even try to get the kid out. Yeah. I'll give you Jimmy Brown. It starts to annoy me. I was going out with this girl, Louise. We broke up, and she was a good friend of mine. One day, Louis Epilitio calls me up. He says, hey, Sammy, Jimmy Brown hit on Louise. I said, well, she's a good-looking girl. What do you want me to do? I mean, she's not my girl no more. What do you want me to do? She's my friend. If she wants to go with him, no. She refused him, and he's calling her a fucking agent, an undercover agent to Paul. I said, no, she's no fucking undercover agent. That's for fucking damn sure. So I went to Paul's house, and I said, Paul, I heard this story. And he says, yeah. Can you confirm that she's not? Well, I know her family my whole fucking life. I almost married this girl. I would bank my life on it that she's not a fucking undercover agent for sure, or a rat. Never. Somebody in her family died, and the family refused to talk to the cops. I'm telling you, no. Would you bank your life on that? Maybe hesitate for a second. And I said, yeah. Well, if she's an agent or she's a rat and she's been hurting people, yes, kill me. Yeah. He says, all right, then go talk to Jimmy. I'm going to talk to him. I'm not going to be polite. Yeah. Go. I know how you talk. Go talk to him. I went to him. I said, Jimmy, you try to pawn off because she said no to you. She wouldn't go to bed with you. And you try to label her as a fucking rat? What if Paul would have given an order or something to kill her? You fucking low-life piece of shit. You know who you're talking? I'm talking to you, you fucking low-life. He said, I'm going to go see Paul. Go. I don't give a fuck where you go, because he was a skipper.
Yeah, I know. He had
go see Paul.
A rich skipper.
I don't give a fuck where you go, I told him. He went to Paul and threw him out of the house.
Good. Yeah. Right. Listen, Paul, right is right.
Yeah, right is right. I mean, you labeling somebody like that, a fucking woman, because she wouldn't go to bed with you, because she wouldn't go with you, you fucking douchebag. Were you embarrassed?
Yeah.
So that whole thing happened. So Jimmy, I had no love for Jimmy.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know him well. I met him a couple of times. Like I said, when my brother's friend got killed, my father had to go meet Paul in his club. But my father always told me he had a ton of money from the garbage, the private sanitation.
Oh, yeah. He had a dissociation.
Yeah. I know Danny Marino and all of them were around him. Because Carmine Lombardozzi, they were going to kill him, Danny's uncle.
Yeah, sure.
Had that. My father had that contract with Nick. When Carlo Gambino was alive, he was going to clip Carmine Lombardozzi. And my father had the contract. He used to swim every day in his pool. And they were going to kill him in his pool. And then Carl called it off. He was another woman. He used to like young girls.
Let me tell you, Carmine Lombardozzi. Yeah. There's two stories about him now. I noticed this one.
But you knew Carl wanted to have him clipped. Did you ever hear that?
Yeah. Here's what happened. He was a captain.
Yeah, right.
And he had a guy around him, Sammy Mintz.
I heard of Sammy Mintz, yeah.
He was a friend. He was a main guy.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
So Carmine is his captain.
Yeah.
So he gets to know him, of course, and he knows his family. He starts fucking Sammy Mintz's wife. Not only does he fuck Sammy Mintz's wife, this is a big guy under him.
Yeah.
He starts fucking the daughter. The daughter, too.
Yeah.
Sammy Mintz finds out. It's his captain. He's scanned a little bit. And he tells the top. They make a decision. Sit down, the administration, and make a decision on how they're going to handle it. Here's the old timers that they thought. Here's how they're going to do it. They call Carmine Lombardozzi in. Come in. You're banging. A friend of ours under you, his wife, Sammy Mitz's wife. He's smart enough, he doesn't deny it. You're banging the daughter, too. She's much younger. Yes. They said, the woman you're married to right now, go home today. Tell her you're finished. Get a divorce. Don't ever go near Sammy Mitz's wife again. And you marry the daughter, this whore, and legitimize her. And you're no longer a captain. Make one mistake from this point on, and we'll kill you. We don't even want to talk to you. And stay away. That's his punishment.
Yeah.
They send for Sammy Mintz back in. And they tell Sammy Mintz, we're throwing you out of Cosa Nostra altogether. We will tell all the families and everybody, you're no longer a friend of ours. Nobody respects you and nobody bother with you. Leave the state. Get the fuck away from us. Your thing is that you were not man enough to get a gun, go to your captain, say you're fucking my wife and my daughter, and put a bullet in his fucking head. And then come to us, put the gun on the table, tell us what you did and why, and that this is the gun you used. We would have turned around, gave you right, and you would have took his position and been a gabardine.
So Carmine Lombardozzi, after they called off that hit, we would be out in clubs in Brooklyn when you had Plaza Suite, and we would run into him, and he was always hitting on young girls, always, because he had a ton of money, Carmine Lombardozzi. He had big money. And my father used to tell me when he walked away, he goes, you don't know how lucky he is. But that's when we used to bounce around. That's when you had Plaza Suite, which I was up there a few times. Yeah, that was a nice little club on the second floor. I don't remember ever, but you know what? I was thinking about it last night. I don't remember ever running into you up there, but I'm sure you were there often.
I was there.
Unless I didn't, I don't forget, and I forgot.
Sometimes I was there. I mean, not all the time.
Yeah.
I really was in construction, and I became a heavyweight in the mob.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't be up there.
But that was your joint.
Yeah. But I didn't hang out there. I had all my guys, Huck, Mikey the Bat, all of them as bouncers. I made them run the place, control it.
I used to like it up there.
Take money at the door, but I couldn't work the joint.
Yeah.
So I very rarely was there. One day I went up there. I got a call to come up. And I went up. I said, "What's the matter?" They said, "Carmine Lombardozzi." And he had this girl, Lou girl.
Yeah, that's what he
she
did.
wasn't a baby, but she was small, petite, in a corner, and he had her completely boxed into the corner, right at the bar.
Yeah.
So I said, "What is he doing? It didn't look like anything to me. He was having a drink with her, maybe. No, she can't get away. He's got her pinned in the corner. She's terrified, this girl. So I don't know what to do, because he was a maid guy then.
Yeah.
So I went over. I said, "Hey, Carmine, what are you doing? What are you up to? You want a drink?" No, I'm talking. So I said, "Carmine, let me talk to you a minute. Pull away for a minute." So I said, would you want to leave for a minute?" Yeah. She was dying at the fire. I said, "Then leave, get away." So I said, "Carmine, you got this girl pinned in the corner, bro. This is my fucking joint. She's a young fucking kid. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't know what the fuck he was, 60-something years old. You got a fucking 20-year-old fucking kid pinned in a corner. Let her go. She don't want to be with you. If she wanted to be with you, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? God bless you. But she don't want to be with you. You're forcing her in the corner. Don't do that in my joint, bro. I'm going to keep this under the hat between me and you, but don't do this. And if you got to do that, don't come to my, there's a million discos. Don't come to my joint."
Yeah.
And so he had this problem with that all the time. So,
Yeah.
you know.
But I remember it was always festive up there. The last time I was there, I remember clearly, like it was yesterday, we went up there because my sister used to go up there with her girlfriends. And we went up, my father wanted to check on her because he was always checking on us. And not that it ever stopped us from doing anything, but he was checking on us. And I went up there and it was me, him, and Alley Boy was there, the kid Alley Boy. He was there. He had an Oakland Raider jacket on. And of course, he knew my old man, and we were drinking and laughing. And it was my sister, her girlfriend Lulu, and Alley Boy, Persico, and me and my father. And that was the last time I was there. And then that guy got killed outside, and then they closed up after that. If I remember correctly.
They shut me down on that hit. I could never open again. I was done. Yeah. We lost the liquor license. We were completely shut down. I couldn't.
What a shame.
Huh?
That was a shame.
Yeah, but it was the guy. You know, he was in a Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakian mob.
I remember that.
He was a drug dealer. He was very, very rich. He had a private plane, boats. He had a shipping company. When a ship got stuck in the middle of the ocean, they would call up a company like his, and he would send a plane with parts. They'd fix the ship and get it going. You know how much they would pay for shit like that?
Crazy money.
Yeah, crazy money.
Yeah.
And he was going to buy a radio station. I think it was KISS. He was in negotiations buying KISS. Yeah, fucking
that was
huge
a big
money.
station. Yeah.
Then I had trouble with him and his, mob and.
Did anybody get pinched for shooting that guy?
No.
No, right? Nobody got pinched? Yeah.
They didn't even know what the fuck happened until I cooperated.
Yeah, what happened, yeah.
What happened.
Yeah, you know what else someone asked me too, and you talked about him, Roy DeMeo. Someone asked me the other day when I was doing a live thing, and someone asked me a question about who was the scariest person I ever met, and I said, I don't know about the scariest, but the darkest person I ever met was Roy DeMeo.
Oh yeah.
I says and I remember like clear as a bell in the 70s. Before I went to jail in '78, I would be in the Ravenite on a Saturday, and it was always on a Saturday for some reason. He would show up there, and when he walked in the door, like the air shifted, like just the atmosphere shifted, and not like people just sort of paused when he walked in. And I didn't know at first, like until, I just met him, this is Roy, this is Ann, my son. And until then I found out who he was and what he was up to. And, but I knew that people just used to like take a pause when he walked in because he was a psychopath. But I didn't know that at the time.
What it is he's not just you're not a tough guy.
Yeah.
You did work, I did work.
Yeah.
We're not afraid of each other. We're just, that's part of the life.
Right.
He's so evil and dark.
Yeah, the
and
devil.
He is that thing. So when you're around him, you got the EBGBs. Yeah. You don't know what the fuck he's going to do or why he's going to do it.
Right.
He stares off into space.
Yeah.
You start saying to yourself, I wonder what he's thinking about. Yeah. Maybe he's thinking about chopping me. Maybe I should just kill this motherfucker. I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
He gives you a weird vibe.
I know. And the first time it happened, when I was in the Raven, and he walked in, and I caught the drift, like I felt the vibration, but I didn't. And then, I got introduced to him, and then driving when we left that day, I told my father, "Who is that guy?" And then he told me who he was and what he was up to. But then later on, I found out about chopping up the bodies and the brothers he had with him, the Gemini twins. Then a couple of times I went to his bar. Now, when I went to his bar, the Gemini Lounge with my father, I didn't know what was going on. I don't even think my father knew what was going on in that apartment upstairs. How I found out about that apartment was when I was in the joint in Schuylkill, in the Fed joint, Kevin Kelly, the Westie, who you were associated with, he was my cellmate, and they were with Nino Gaggi, and that was Ray's captain, right? And he told me about, and they were known to chop people up, the Westies, Jimmy Coon, and that was their thing.
They did that too.
They used to call it the Houdini, but what I didn't know was that Roy is the one that taught them how to do that.
Teach them.
Taught them how to chop people up.
Yeah. He told me, Paul was asking, he was going to make new guys, right?
Yeah.
So I had gone to the Gemini, I forgot what the fuck it was about, to see him, and I stopped it in. I was talking with him, and I said, did you hear that Paul was going to put make some new guys. You got a bunch of guys who did work. I mean, maybe
Put them in.
Maybe you could put them in. He said, a couple of guys who did work. He said, my coffee boy was on 10 murders or whatever. I said, the coffee boy killed 10 people? Yeah. I said, wow, this guy's there. He said, Sammy, we got over 200 hits.
Yeah.
200. I said, who the fuck is giving you that kind of work?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to get up in the morning.
who's
I wanted to
okaying
get up
that?
in the morning and kill anybody. If I got an order to kill somebody, I'm in, you know, I'm in the army
That's
here.
gotta
I'm going to
do.
do it. But, so I tell him, who the fuck, you know, gives you all these orders? He says, nobody. The Gemini Lounge, he said, when I catch somebody, his uncle Dracula was the bartender. 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody's a little juiced up, drunk. Didn't matter who you were, black, white, Hispanic. They don't give a fuck. As long as you were a little drunk, the guy would call up. We got one. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's there. It's one guy's in there. He's a little tanked. He tells them, oh, stop playing cards. They stop playing cards. They go in. They grab him. They bring him in the joint. They shoot him in the head. They cut him from his neck all the way down past his balls. Tie him upside down by his ankles.
Yeah.
So he bleeds out. Why are you doing that? Well, when we cut him up with the saws and everything in pieces, it's not squirting anything. There's no more blood. There's nothing left. I said, this motherfucker's sick as a bastard, bro.
I mean...
And wait, let me finish. It says, why? I said, so why? They didn't do anything, these people. You're just killing them. Yeah, Sammy. I keep them sharp.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to keep them
it's
sharp.
It's like, you know, practice, like batting practice.
So on me, I'm fucking, I says, I do the same thing with my crew. But I don't never, I said, when I walked out and got in the car, I said, the next time I come back here, I'm going to carry fucking two of them.
I mean, but that's not Costa Nostra.
That's a serial killer.
That's just crazy. That's disgusting.
He went nuts.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, I know you clip people. I was involved in a murder. I know my father clipped people, but I mean, murder's murder, but there's a difference. My father used to tell me there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. And he also used to tell me, don't ever underestimate anybody. Anybody could kill you. Because there was a lot of old timers in the Ravenite when I used to go in there, like little old men that had 10 bodies, 8 bodies. And I used to tell my father used to tell me, yeah, he did. You know how much work that guy did? Like Mike Catalano. Remember Mike Catalano?
Yeah, sure.
Now here's a guy, he used to go to church. He used to go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did, but my father used to, for some reason, my father loved him, but he had this bug, my old man, about, he used to go to church every Sunday, Mike Catalano. So one day, I don't know, he said something, so he walked away, and my father goes, he goes to church every Sunday. Did he ever confess what he did out in L.A.? So they must have sent him out to L.A. like a while back in the day to do something like pretty hideous, but he never told me what he did. And I said, what did he do? Don't worry about what he did in L.A. I just wonder if that's the reason why he goes to church now every Sunday. And, you know, he was like just a harmless guy, Mike Catalano. Oh, quiet guy, deadly, but deadly.
Yeah, I mean, they're old hit guys. I mean, there's all kinds of stories. Yeah. Listen, I mean, a lot of guys, I believe in God.
Yeah, me
I
too.
believe in God.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and once or twice I told a guy, I said, listen, the guy said, Sammy, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't say that. Listen, you don't have to confess to me.
Yeah.
Confess to God.
Yeah.
I'm only here to make a meeting between you and God.
Yeah, that's it. That's just going to introduce you to Jesus.
You don't have to tell me what you did.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck what you did.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's crazy, but, you know, I believe in God.
Listen, when you're told to do something, listen, I'm sure you know this would happen. So I testified against Bobby Glasses. You know Bobby Glasses, right? JoJo straightened him out, and then then later, just recently, before he died, he was on the committee with the Gambinos, and he became a captain. So they clipped 2 people in the Shamrock Bar in Queens, and Pete Gotti's daughter was there, you know, and she gave them up. Did you know that whole story, what happened there that time?
No.
You never heard that story?
No. Tell me.
I'm going to tell you. So what happened? So there's a bar on Jamaica Avenue called the Shamrock Lounge, right?